Welcome to Pasture, a restaurant in the Welsh capital of Cardiff. I am super excited for this one because not only did this place come recommended by one of my viewers, it has also recently been named in the top 50 of the 101 World's Best Steak Restaurants of 2024. You heard that right, not just in the UK, but in the world. Firstly, good luck trying to get a booking on a weekend. Saturday night was booked for months ahead, so our best bet at getting a table was during a weekday lunchtime. Interestingly, making a booking is only for eating inside. You can't actually book for their outside area, so you can just show up and try your luck that way. But keep in mind that outside has a different menu known as their Terrace Menu that doesn't have their big hitter steaks. So, naturally, we decided to come 2 days in a row. I mean, it's the only logical conclusion, right? Day 1, we came and sat outside to try their limited terrace menu. Day 2, we booked to sit inside to try out their main menu and get the full Pasture experience. At the end of the video, I'm going to give my final verdict, which includes a comparison between inside and outside. Is Pasture worth the hype? Let's find out. If you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. I post videos on a regular basis about my favorite places to eat that you won't want to miss. Alright, let's start with their terrace menu, which was mostly small plates with a few larger options as well. The meal was off to a great start with warm sourdough bread from Ground Bakery, a local Cardiff bakery. It was served with this amazingly creamy butter and some flaky sea salt. We also had their short rib croquettes, which were incredibly delicious. Very tender beef marinated in a variety of warm spices, battered and fried into a croquette before being served with a gochujang aioli. Gochujang is a sweet and spicy Korean paste that has been toned down with the garlic aioli, so it is palatable even for people who aren't used to spiciness. It paired well with the short ribs, and they were very generous with the amount of sauce. Our next starter was my absolute favorite of the meal, which was their crab toast. The flavors in this were absolutely unreal and a must-get if you like crab. Dressed Cornish crab on top of a crab chawanmushi, which is a Japanese-style savory egg custard. There's a bit of yuzu lime dressing for a tangy citrus kick to round out the flavors, and apple jelly all on top of a toasted brioche. If this dish is hard to imagine, I don't blame you. It's something that you just have to try. Imagine fresh crab with its natural sweetness, mixed with the creaminess of a savory custard, and rounded out slightly with a citrus flavor for an added freshness. The number one word here is balance. All of these small plates here are also available on the main menu. Next up is their burger, a double smash beef patty made from 45-day dry-aged meat, house cheese, bacon jam, a secret sauce which is like their upgraded version of a burger sauce, crispy shallots served with fries. There were also some pickles on the side, and their bun was a potato bun. This wasn't bad, but I will be honest and say that you can tell burgers aren't exactly their specialty here. Finally is their steak and fries, which isn't actually part of their main menu as far as I could tell. 200 grams flash steak served with peppercorn sauce and some fries. The steak was very tender and juicy, and the peppercorn sauce was great. The fries were also crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, exactly what you want. So far, we were pretty impressed with Pasture, especially with the delicious small plates. However, being limited with the terrace menu, we didn't get to taste what they're known for, which is steak. The flash steak you get from their terrace menu was well cooked, but a very basic cut. Fast forward to day 2. Even though I was really tempted to order their crab starter again, I aimed for the dishes that weren't available on the terrace menu. For the starters, we went with their smoked beef carpaccio, cured Cornish trout, and char siu pork belly. Their smoked beef carpaccio is from a cut of rump, and if you've never had carpaccio before, it is an Italian dish of very thinly sliced raw beef, dressed and served cold. The beef definitely had a smokiness to it and a black pepper exterior. It came with a ponzu dressing, very thinly sliced truffle, thinly sliced Parmesan cheese, and an egg yolk emulsion for that creaminess. This was an incredibly well-balanced and executed dish, with each component playing an important role. The next starter was the char siu pork belly. Char siu means roasted, and it comes with a puffed crackling and barbecue sauce. The pork was ridiculously well cooked and was absolutely faultless. The barbecue sauce was tangy and full of flavor, and I'll be honest and say that the puffed crackling wasn't my favorite. I much prefer a traditional crackling, but it did have an interesting texture. The final starter was a dish unlike anything I've ever had before and is perfect if you're into seafood. Cured trout in a dashi broth, which is basically like a clear Japanese soup stock. There was a bit of wasabi flavor along with a soy cured egg, furikake, which is a Japanese seasoning of toasted sesame seeds, seaweed, salt, and sugar, and a rice cracker which was seasoned itself as well. There were also some bits of caviar or fish eggs here. Really interesting dish, although it was a bit salty for me, but absolutely perfect if you're into salty seafood dishes like caviar. It was definitely well executed. Okay, on to the main event, the steaks. They serve some house cuts, which are giant cuts ideal for sharing, but we decided to go with my favorite cut of steak, which is ribeye. I had this cooked medium, which is my preference for ribeye, so as to let the fatty bits render a bit more. You get your choice of sauce with this, and they have a huge variety. I went with the truffle butter, which I definitely did not regret. It was absolutely unreal. Trust me, if you like the flavor of truffle, this is a 10 out of 10 and a must get. The earthy flavor of the truffle butter gave it layers of depth. The steak was cooked beautifully. I know it sounds cliche, but it was melt in your mouth tender. You can definitely see why Pasture is known for being a steakhouse, and you would understand why it's in the world's top 50. For sides, we went with the beef fat chips, which were chunky and crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. The ember baked potatoes served with creme fraiche, chives, and Cafelli cheese was also great. Outside of potato, we also had the spinach gratin, which was hot, cheesy, and bubbling. The cabbage in the coals was topped with bacon butter, and the natural sweetness and juiciness of the cabbage was definitely brought out here in the cooking process. Okay, time for the final verdict. Is Pasture worth it? Yes, definitely. It is obviously on the pricier side being a steakhouse, but I do believe the prices are fair, and if you're willing to splurge for either a special occasion or just wanting to have some good food like us, no occasion necessary, you do get the quality you pay for. If you're having trouble making a booking for inside, it is still worth it to come to Pasture for their terrace menu, although I will be honest and say that if you do, that I would just go with their smaller plates and have it tapas style. I would skip the burger and the flash steak. They're not bad, but I don't think they're as representative of the quality of the rest of their menu. So my top recommendation is pair your steak with the truffle butter, and for the starter, don't skip on the Cornish crab, which is available both inside and outside on the terrace. You're going to leave happy. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos about my favorite things to eat on a regular basis that I can't wait to share with you. Until next time.